Diana wrote a letter to her son William in the early 1990s. Not a birthday card, not a note tucked in a school bag, a real letter, several pages, written by hand, sealed, and given to someone she trusted completely. Someone who was not the palace, not her lawyers, and not any member of the royal family. For years, that letter's existence was never confirmed publicly. Then, in 2002, a court proceeding briefly referenced private materials belonging to Diana, and before anyone could ask questions, the record was sealed. I'm going to tell you exactly what we know, what was buried, and why William has never once spoken about it. When Diana died on August 31st, 1997, her official estate was valued at just over £21 million. Her will, written in 1993, divided everything between William and Harry. It was registered, probated, and made public in the way these things are. That's the official record. But Diana's life had two tracks. There was the life the palace managed, photographed, and documented, and then there was a private life she kept carefully outside that system. She had an astrologer she called regularly, a voice coach she confided in, friends who never once appeared in a newspaper, and she had a habit, a serious one, of writing long, personal letters to people she trusted. Diana wrote to Paul Burrell, her butler, often. She wrote to her spiritual advisor. She wrote to close friends in ways her family and the palace knew nothing about. The question has never been whether Diana left private messages for her sons. The question is what those messages said and where they are now. Here is what the public record shows. When Diana died, Paul Burrell was one of the first people to respond. He had worked as her personal butler for 10 years. He was, by most accounts, her closest confidant inside the household. After the crash, he gathered a significant number of her personal belongings and took them into his own safekeeping. He said he did it to protect them. He said Diana had trusted him with important things, and he was honoring that trust. For 4 years, nothing happened. Then, in 2001, the royal family initiated legal proceedings against Burrell for retaining those items. Police arrested him. The case built for over a year. It came to trial in October 2002 and was one of the most talked about legal proceedings in Britain at that point. And then, on November 1st, 2002, the trial collapsed suddenly and completely. The reason given was this. Queen Elizabeth had recalled a private conversation with Burrell from shortly after Diana's death, in which Burrell told her he was holding some of Diana's possessions for safekeeping. The Queen said she had simply forgotten this conversation, and that was enough to end the prosecution. Here is what almost nobody talked about. No inventory of what Burrell was holding was ever made public. The exact items he had taken from Kensington Palace were never listed in open court. Journalists who covered the trial noted that the case seemed to dissolve before key evidence could be examined, and the palace's legal team moved with unusual speed to have the matter closed. Here is the confirmation the public accepted. Burrell had some personal items. The Queen recalled the conversation. The case was dropped. Here is the contradiction. A senior royal correspondent who covered the trial later noted that the items in question appeared to include personal correspondence, private letters Diana had written, and in some cases received. Not jewelry, not financial documents, letters. And here is the consequence. Because the trial collapsed before any evidence was presented in full, we have no public record of what those letters contained, who they were written to, or where they went afterward. The official story ended there, but Diana's story didn't. But here is what the official statement left out. Because Diana had been planning for this kind of silence long before she died, Diana knew the palace read her mail. She knew her phone calls were sometimes monitored. She knew that anything that passed through official royal channels could be documented, accessed, and used. So she built another channel. In Andrew Morton's 1992 biography, Diana later confirmed that she had secretly recorded herself speaking on audio tapes for Morton, smuggled out of Kensington Palace through a trusted friend. The palace had no idea these recordings existed until the book was published. That was not an accident. Diana had planned it deliberately. What most people don't know is that the Morton tapes were not the only materials she moved through unofficial channels. Diana maintained what her close friend Rosa Monckton described as a deeply active, private correspondence. Letters to people she cared about, letters she hand-delivered when she could, or sent through trusted intermediaries when she couldn't. Monckton herself received multiple letters from Diana that she has never fully made public, citing Diana's privacy. Now, here is what Tina Brown's biography, The Diana Chronicles, documents in detail. Diana, in the period between 1993 and 1997, became increasingly worried about her son's futures inside the royal institution. She was no longer a working royal. She had been stripped of the title Her Royal Highness after the divorce was finalized in 1996. And she was deeply aware that once she had no official standing, her influence over how William and Harry were raised could be limited or removed entirely. Brown documents that Diana told multiple people in her final years that she wanted William to understand certain things she did not trust the institution to ever tell him. Things about his grandmother, about his father, about the monarchy itself, and about what she wanted for his future. She said this not once, but repeatedly to several different people in the years before her death. Whether she put those things in writing and whether that writing survived is the question nobody in the palace has ever answered. Here is the contradiction. After Burrell's trial collapsed, Burrell gave several interviews over the following years. In 2003, he told a journalist that Diana had spoken to him about leaving something specific for William, something she wanted him to have when he was older, something she had not entrusted to the palace. Burrell said he had honored that wish. He did not say what it was. He has never said publicly what it was. The consequence is this. Whatever Diana prepared for William outside the official channels, it moved through people the palace could not control. And if Burrell kept his word, William received it privately, with no public record and no palace involvement. And this is where the story stops making sense. Because in 2017, William's behavior changed in a way nobody had fully predicted. And the timing connects to something very specific. For the first 2 decades after Diana's death, William almost never spoke about his mother in depth. He gave carefully managed statements. He attended memorial services. He supported the charities she had championed. But he did not speak about her grief, about her private self, about what their relationship had actually been. Then, in June 2017, for a documentary marking the 20th anniversary of Diana's death, William gave a different kind of interview. He sat down with journalists alongside Harry and said something that stopped people. He said he wished he had spoken about his mother more when she first died. He said he had spent years not processing the grief, just pushing it down. He said, and this is the part that matters, that he had so few objects left of hers, that her belongings had been dispersed so quickly after the accident that he and Harry had very little to hold on to. He said, "It is not like she left us a note, or that we had time to say goodbye." That line has been quoted many times. What people miss is what he said immediately after. He said there are conversations he wishes they could have had, questions he never got to ask her, and that he has had to piece together who she was through other people's memories and other people's accounts. If William had privately received something from Diana, a letter, a recording, anything personal and direct, he almost certainly would not say so publicly. That is simply not how he operates. But the weight of what he described in that interview, the sense of absence, the sense of having too little of her, is difficult to reconcile with someone who had received a direct, private, meaningful communication, unless the thing he received did not answer what he most needed to know. Here is the other piece. July 1st, 2021. Diana's statue unveiling at Kensington Palace. William and Harry stood together for the first time since their grandfather's funeral in April. Every camera in Britain was pointed at them. People who were in the room that day said the atmosphere was formal and careful. There was no warmth between the brothers. They delivered short public statements, stood for photographs, and left separately. Sources close to both sides later told multiple outlets that the brothers disagreed deeply about how Diana's legacy should be publicly handled. Harry wanted to speak openly about her struggles, her mistreatment by the institution, the system that failed her. William wanted to protect the institution she had ultimately been part of. Two sons of the same mother, two completely different relationships to her memory. That divergence does not happen without cause, and the most obvious cause is what each of them was given and what each of them was told. What William did quietly in the years that followed, and what Diana's brother has been sitting on at Althorp, is what the palace still hasn't answered for. In September 2023, William made an unannounced private visit to Althorp. No press release, no cameras. His office confirmed the visit only after the fact. No reason was given. Althorp is Diana's family estate in Northamptonshire. It is where she is buried, on a small island in the center of an ornamental lake. And it is where her brother, Charles Spencer, Earl Spencer, maintains a private archive of Diana's personal materials. Spencer has spoken about this archive in several interviews over the years. He has said there are materials in Diana's collection that remain private. He has said some things may never be made public. He has been very deliberate about not describing what those things are. Spencer and William have a relationship that is cordial but managed. They do not appear close. They communicate where necessary. Spencer has been publicly critical at times of how the royal family handled Diana's death and legacy. But he has also been protective of certain things in ways that suggest a private arrangement exists. Diana's personal papers are not subject to the same legal frameworks as royal correspondence. They are Spencer family property. The palace has no legal claim to them and no right of access, which means that if Diana wrote something in those final years, something real, something specific, something meant for her son, and it is at Althorp, the palace cannot touch it, cannot suppress it, and cannot account for it publicly. What Spencer does with that archive, and when, is entirely his decision. And William's 2023 visit, quiet and unannounced, suggests that whatever is in that archive, he has not finished engaging with it. The palace can manage the public record. They cannot manage Althorp. Here is what we know for certain. Diana built a private channel for the things she did not trust the institution to carry. She used it deliberately, repeatedly, and with precision. Paul Burrell confirmed that she left something specific for William. And Diana's private papers sit today in an archive at Althorp that no one outside the Spencer family fully controls. What we do not know, and what the palace has made sure we cannot know, is what she actually said. William carries something from his mother that no journalist, no biographer, and no royal correspondent has ever seen. Whether that is a letter, a recording, or simply the memory of what Burrell eventually passed on, we cannot say. But the weight of it shows. It always has. And Diana is not the only one who kept things hidden. Queen Elizabeth also maintained a private archive. And when she died, what Catherine's team found inside it changed the balance of power in the royal family in ways that are still playing out right now. That story is in the next video, right here.